sex is a deeper thing. Now, again, there are women who out here who can body you and keep it moving and not care anything about you. I say, you my girl, and you say, I'm your boy. You feel me? Because if I say, you my girl, and you say, I don't know, we both still for the streets, baby.
I've been going through some things, so much on my brain.
Wow, what it is. Hey, look, man, we back with another episode, another show. Y'all already know I get right into it with y'all with a temperature check, let y'all know how I'm doing, what's going on with me. So right now, quick temperature check coming in from last week's episode. Last week, man, when I tell you I was like, am I gonna get this episode out? Like if you like watching or you checked and watched it when it came out like late as shit on Tuesday, but Tuesday is when we drop. And last week, I was like, damn, I don't know, I gotta get it together. Like this week, I'm trying to be early recording, even though I ain't as early as I wanna be. It's like, bro, you gotta get on top of your shit, you gotta handle it. So we definitely trying to do better. We're gonna do better with this. But as far as the episode, man, it's out last week, and I'm happy I was able to get that out last week. What was last week's episode? Nigga be kind of sliding through sometimes. Last week we talked about, the vessel of information. And when I was doing it, I think because I was late in getting the information out and then like kind of putting it together and kind of rushing through it compared to the ones before that, I really was iffy as I was flowing. Like, is this shit making sense? Is this hitting what I want it to be hitting for people? And shout out to my sister-in-law, like, for sure, she, like, hit me with a comment. Like, once she said something about the part about me talking about eating ass, and I was like, hey, look, conversations be happen how they happen. But also, she hit me like, hey, look, Brett, for sure, the part you talking about, like, how you learn to receive information based on how you talk with your parents, her telling me that, like, the fact that it made some sense really had me like, all right, bet, for sure, at least, bro, what you're trying to do, you doing what you're doing, just keep on pushing forward with it. So, shout out to you for that. Definitely appreciate that. And just as well as her saying that on a clip that I posted, I want to say it was on Instagram. This was maybe from the previous episode I was talking about with negative comparisons. And somebody who I done chopped it up, like met in doing music, but I don't just chop it up with them on a daily like that. Them commenting on ones like, I needed this. This was like good, like appreciating what was posted. Like for me, that meant a lot for me because it's just like, all right, bet for sure. Like in general, beyond somebody who ain't in my immediate scope of people, somebody being able to appreciate the information, that like really meant a lot for me. Cause shit, sometimes you trying to do shit and you like maybe hoping you putting out good information, but you never know if people rocking with it, people like enjoying what you're saying. So for me, somebody who not a stranger, but to an extent, you know what I mean? Appreciating is like, hey, look, shout out to you for that. Like it might have been light or it might have been deeper for you, but like now I understand, like for me as well, hey, that meant something. So, you know what I mean? We rocking. I'm rocking with y'all. Hopefully y'all rocking with me. We doing a little something here, you feel me? So yeah, that's what I got going on right here. Temperature check. And you know what I mean? Shout out Houston, shout out to H. Y'all already know that's where I'm at. I'm from Louisiana. Let's keep it straight all the way. I do never want y'all to have any misunderstanding. I'm from Louisiana, that north side, Strop City all day. But that city is small and I could never go back there. But right now, man, I'm staying in Houston. I love Houston. I've been in Houston going on a decade. I love it out here. Still got that southern feel and vibe, but big city energy and stuff. So it's just like, it's moving how I like it. So shout out to Houston. June 27 just passed. Shout out DJ Screw. Shout out to SUC. Y'all already know what it is. You from the H or you from anywhere that know better, you do better. You feel me? Y'all already know what it is. So swinging down, man. Had a conversation with somebody talking about June 27. It was like, huh? What's that? What? I was like, oh, word, you don't know nothing about that? For sure, love. It's cool. I might have ran out joking with them too much, like they but it was all like love, just trying to like fuck around people. But man, if you don't know, June 27, and I ain't even gonna stunt with you. I didn't always kind of to an extent known June 27 was something for Houston and like in the screw scene and different things like that. But I ain't gonna stunt you, like I always knew what it was, but I always knew June 27 was so Houston. And like kind of going into it, basically June 27th today, DJ Scrooge out the June 27th freestyle with everybody going wild and all that stuff. So it's just like a big day in Houston. Like it's June 27th. Y'all already know it's just so Houston. Screw music is so Houston. DJ Screw is so Houston. SUC, Screwed Up Click, so Houston. So you feel me? That just passed. On that day, I went to a little kind of like music fest, like hip hop focus kind of thing, and they was kind of like doing different music festivals, and it's kind of like dope. Like in me performing and doing music, I ain't really been doing much lately, but kind of like running and kind of seeing some of the people who was performing and doing the thing is like, oh man, word, that's what's up. These folks kind of like doing bigger, doing better levels, and these are folks who I didn't kind of met out and about while me doing my music thing. So shout out everybody who I met out there. What I want to say, man, I'm not the best with names, but I'm gonna try to remember the folks who I seen performing. I think Travis M was the name of one dude. First cat I seen, a lady named Queen Meek, and who you had? Man, I'm gonna mess up. Shotty name was Lativia Novia. Man, I'm so sorry. Shout out messing up your name, but it was all three of y'all was dope as shit. Man, I'm feeling bad. I'm getting Shotty name wrong. Like now I'm like now because I felt like the first two names I was like straight on it. Like last little shout out, Lakeitha Valon. Yeah, I for sure messed that up. You tested my vocals, my syllables with that. But Lakeitha Valon. Shout out to you. Shout out Queen Meek. Shout out Travis M. Man, y'all was just doing y'all thing. It was just a dope event. Getting out a chance to see everybody, like, you know what I mean, just doing things, putting on things for the Houston artists, and just living it up. So shout out Houston. Shout out all that moving. All right, yeah. So man, like I said, shout out to Houston. Let's keep it moving with that note. So on that, going from June 27, we finna get right into the motherfucking vent. Y'all already know how we do. My bad. We ain't going straight to the vent. I gotta introduce y'all to the show. Welcome to the StoryHouse podcast, StoryHouse show. Y'all already know, man, you rocking with your boy AO. It's AEO, and I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm doing it with y'all. Y'all already know. If you here with me, you are rocking with me. This your first time. Hey, you a guest, you feel me? Hey, get a little comfortable. Hey, we be cooling up in here. If you been here before, wow, what it is, folk? We family, we rocking. Dap me up. Leave my refrigerator alone. You ain't paid for nothing in it. Don't just be grabbing shit. You can get a bottle of water or something like that, but don't wild out and nothing like that. But you already know, man. We rocking, we going stupid, we getting to it. And talking about a bottle of water, let me get a little sip here, because I'm talking. But yeah, now that y'all here, now that y'all rocking with me, we finna get into this vent for real this time. So for the vent today, we talking about men cheating. And I already know, like, you can see it. I mean, you might have seen whatever the thumbnail or title or whatever you seen this on, seeing what it said is like, all right, men cheating. What he finna be hitting on? What he talking about? Yeah. All right, we finna see what I'm finna be hitting on. So just getting straight into it. This is a topic that came up from me talking to my, again, sister-in-law. We was just chopping up, having a conversation one day. And this has nothing to do with actual cheating, anything that was going on. Just the conversation was flowing. I think we was talking about like society and different things. And something came up for me. It was just like, yeah, we talk about like men cheating or something like that, but it's really society is the reason why men cheat. And I don't know how we kind of got into it. And I was kind of basically like, men only cheat as much as they do because of society. And that's the basis of what I'm going to talk about today. Men cheating. So something I would say, I have acknowledgement. I do believe men cheat more across societies, cultures, whatever it may be, than women. I do feel like that is I don't know what, I'm pretty sure you can look at somebody who done studies and shit like that. Obviously I ain't done no studies, but you can look across studies and find different people who done looked up different information and done different things and why and ask questions. I'm finna be talking more from the heart. But I'm pretty sure more men, wherever you go to, cheat than women. That's just a fact. I ain't saying that's what it gotta be, but that's what it is. And I feel like a big reason for this is because when it comes to sex, men are taught way less restraint than women. So if you ain't taught sexual restraint, most times you gonna be a little bit more wild with your with the behavior. So I feel like sexual restraint isn't something that's taught to men in the same way that it's taught to women. Just kind of in the same way, and this may be a subject of comparison or something I talk about later, like I always say, because I don't want to overly delve into too many subjects. I want to try to stay focused. But like women aren't taught, in my opinion, how to control their emotions. Men aren't taught to express their emotions or acknowledge them, but women aren't taught to sometimes to control their emotions. They're taught to have their emotions, but not how to control it sometimes. And that's unfortunate for both sides of it. But yeah, that was the biggest reference point that I could think of at the time. Like how men aren't taught to be restraining with their sexual behaviors compared to like women and emotions or something. But like again, I'll dive into all subjects more. If you got comments, you feel feedback, feel free to tell me how you feel. I have no problem with y'all talking and be like, oh, you on bullshit. But this is what I'm finna rock with today. So, when it comes to sex, like I say, men cheat more, but not all cultures when it comes to sex are treated the same. So you can go across, like one is America. So I'm giving you an American viewpoint, Southern American viewpoint, growing up from a small city. But I done seen other places, been to other places. And so like getting a more ranged exposure. But the viewpoint that I have is understanding you can go somewhere else. You might go to Japan. You might go to Malaysia. You might go to somewhere in Europe, in the UK. You might go to somewhere in South Africa. You might go to Egypt. You know what I mean? You might go to Brazil. It's going to be different viewpoints on how sex as a whole is treated. But I mean, I feel like generally it's kind of like kind of be conservative with it a little bit. Some people may be more expressive in like their bodies, but sex itself, like the actual penetration part, is generally kind of in somewhat of the same space, but everybody has their own thing. But what I will say is across all of those, whatever cultures you go to, I would say it's very typical that it's more acceptable for a man to just sleep around. It's more acceptable for a man to have multiple partners. As a dude, like I know even for myself, like I ain't finna tell you how many people I done been with in my life, but I know for sure the number of people I done been with in my life, it is way more acceptable for me as a man to say, oh, I done been with this number. If a female said that same number, it's like, oh, you didn't kind of, yeah. So it's just like knowing, and that ain't even me bragging in no way, whatever the number is, y'all won't know. But it's just like, yeah, it'd be a different viewpoint. It's not an even kind of thing, because it could easily be the reason it's more acceptable for a man to sleep around is because a man has a high sex drive. That's just a man thing. It's just testosterone. We just push stuff to do all that kind of shit. And it's like, is that the truth? That's why like men be sleeping around more because we have a high sex drive. All right, for sure. Yeah, that sounds good. That mean like women don't have high sex drive? Like that what y'all saying? Men had a super high sex drive. But it has zero acknowledgement for the fact that men just have been doing more shit. Like, let me see, I want to go back a little bit. You can kind of go back to like whatever cultures and societies you want to go with, why men do different things. Like men have kind of run things, you run society. We've run societies for a long period of time. There's a reason why you have like the patriarchal kind of viewpoint on society. And most times when you're talking about the matron, it's talking about more caring and taking care of, when the patriarch viewpoint is providing and taking, and this point is like we view shit, I'm all over the place today. But we view it a little bit stronger or whatever as a man point, but they both equally important. Like not one more than the other. But yeah, so going back, a point I want to say is going back to like people talking about the sex drive point. Women don't have as high a sex drive, but the thing is understanding throughout history, women haven't even been allowed to have the same sex drive that a man does. Like literally in some cultures and society, if you try to do the same amount of sleeping around that a man does, you will be punished. Like you can try to be like, oh, it's just whatever kind of thing. But if you can literally be punished for doing the same thing, don't tell me it's this is more of a woman thing, this is more of a man thing. At that point, you can have 10 partners as a man and it's like whatever, you cheating. You have 10 partners as a woman, man, they might try to kill you in some societies. They might try to, you a hoe, you a this, or you whatever. Like as a man, like even being called a hoe ain't even the same kind of, it don't even have the same connotation with it. It ain't even like, oh, it's whatever. It's like, oh, he's a man whore. But shit, some females can even look at that, oh, that's cute. I don't know. I don't got one partner who like, oh yeah, man, she a hoe. I like that. Nah, it's like you might like the activities that she might gonna do with you, but you ain't gonna have no consideration of like trying to, we gonna partner up, we gonna link up and make this forever kind of thing. Usually the dudes who kind of like link up with a female who everybody else viewing as a hoe, oh, you call that boy goofy. Boy, you goofy as hell. Boy, she rocking with everybody. But on the same flip note, a female can wind up catching that same dude who, oh, he a hoe, girl. You know, he be sleeping around. But shit, if he have enough other areas where he's like a quote unquote good guy, oh, girl, you kind of got to catch. You slowed him down. You took him out of his hoe phase or whatever. I ain't never heard nobody be like, oh yeah, bro, you got her out of her whole phase. No, that means you captured the hoe. That's the viewpoint. But it's the same thing happening either way. On both sides, you capturing whoever the person was who was sleeping around. And again, please don't take it. Me saying the word hoe, this is just like using the colloquial terms that we'll use. But hey, look, man, do whatever you do. Like in my mindset, like when I'm single, I'm single than a motherfucker. When I'm in a relationship, hey, look, it's just for whoever that baby is. Like, hey, whoever you my one, you my one. But when I'm single, the streets love me, baby. But yeah, so just that fact of like at that point, women aren't even given the ability, like let alone the decisions or whatever. Like we ain't even getting to the decision of what it is. It's just a fact of women not even having a decision, the ability to express their sexuality and this is for a long time. Obviously, it's 2024. We get to a point where you can express your sexuality a whole lot more as a woman, closer to as a man. Still isn't a one-to-one for how men can express their sexuality at certain points, but it's definitely getting a whole lot wilder. And like kind of going to that point, like with a reflection on how that being the case, you can looking at older people and their sex drive. When you look at a lot of older people, one thing you can look at with older people just in general beyond sex, old people don't give a fuck. Old people usually, you are losing your give a fuck for life because you are getting to the point like, hey, look, I'm getting to the point where I ain't got much more of this life left. I'm trying to do whatever the fuck I want to. I want to enjoy this ride the fuck out this bitch. So old people be on their old people shit. Shout out to them. Can't wait to be on. I mean, I be trying to be in my own give a fuck point, but that's what the shit older folks be on. And with that, you kind of tend to do more what you want. And something I feel like is common is the expectation that older women have a higher sex drive than men. And I mean, I'm pretty sure it could be like some type of hormonal things or whatever that play into that. But I think a huge part that play into it as well is the fact that as a woman, you have probably had a lot more of your life where you can't do it's been more taboo or whatever you want to call it to express yourself in certain ways sexually, to do whatever you want sexually. So it's like you've had more pent up time within your life compared to as a man. Shit, you probably been in your youth. As soon as you hit about 13, 14, it's like, shit, sexual, that's all on your mind. Everything, every day, always sex or some shit. And it's like, as a dude, you might get to your older age, just like, yeah, you don't want to have sex as much because you've been doing all the sex you want forever. It's been a freedom. But as an older woman, you like, hey, fuck that. I done got to this older age. I don't give a fuck no more what somebody got to say about me. I'm trying to be fucking. We fucking. So, you know what I mean? Just that different restraint you have based on those genders. To me, that's an easy point. Is like, you don't try to tell me it's like, oh, men cheating because of this or women cheating because of this. It's like, nah, you have different restraints that have been placed on you. All right, so continuing on from the... Sorry, my bad, y'all. But yeah, just continuing on from the case of the older point, like we'll go on to going a little bit older, like with society and history. Shit, as a man, a reward for being a dominating man is if you the strongest man, and it's usually like the leader of whatever tribe, whatever kind of thing, you the top dog in whatever things you go tribal, whatever country and things you go to. It's usually been based on, for one, the person who's the strongest or smartest, or combination of both of those. And if you go back far enough, before we had enough technological advances, it really was just whoever the fuck was the strongest man. If you the strongest dude, if you pulling through, you can beat everybody's ass. You that nigga, you that one. Shit, you got the respect in the streets. Ain't nobody fucking with you. But it's like, all right, so we're having that. You had that respect, and the reward of having that respect, of being that nigga, being that man, is you get the rewards of it. You get the rewards of whatever you want. And whether that's money, the notoriety that come with it, the best living place, shit. One thing that's been the case, you get the case of the woman. You get to pick whatever woman you want to have. All right, so you picking whatever woman you want to have. You get to choose from a group of women because, one, just from a physical standpoint, as a man, you strong. Like, you can be strong as a woman. You can physically build up. Like, I know I done seen some women in the gym doing some numbers I probably ain't hitting. I'm just like, hey, strong ass lady right there. But that ain't the typical, you know what I mean? You might have your crazy built up bodybuilder like women who doing that, but sometimes the numbers that they might reach is a number that a man could reach on like more of a regular standpoint, just from a physical point. So I don't gotta explain it too much. Y'all understand shit, just physically, men, women, men stronger on average. So with you being that person who's more dominating, shit, you getting to have a pick of whatever woman you want to have. So already it's you get to have whatever you want. And the thing is, sometimes you get to pick what woman you want to have sex with. It ain't really always the case of if she also want to have sex with you. Yeah, sometimes it's a society set up to where it's like, oh yeah, the woman want to have sex with that man, who that guy. But sometimes it's just, oh, I had this power and I'm going to take you because of this power. And it's going to be acceptable because I'm in this power level. So you the king or somewhere and you want to have sex with a woman, who's she going to say no? You might get killed if she don't, or she might just, unfortunately, just getting taken from her. And because that's that power dynamic going into it. So understanding it's not just for men sometimes the case of having a desire to have sex and cheat more. Sometimes you have a power dynamic that sets you up to believe it's acceptable to do the behavior because you have the power dynamic, and it's a long time built up of having that. So, this for me is something I feel like that power dynamic has shaped societies and cultures for a long ass time to a point of where men operate and move along in a basis of this is how men are. This is how men are. But the thing is, that's more to me a comparative to like animals. And I do believe, yeah, we're all animalistic. I mean, we're animals. We breathe, we mate, we do everything the other animals may do. But what we have is an intellectual understanding that we can process and evolve, have different understandings of ourselves, and we can change how we operate as cultures and societies, as we have in so many different aspects of how we interact with each other. Like just the fact mental health and mental wellness is a much more prevalent topic now. It might have had its more niche conversations, but it's not so much of a thing. Like how we used to think, oh, these women are witches. Like women was legit getting killed for being witches. Y'all niggas wild for who's doing that shit. But those things can really just play into how society moves just based on whatever people believe is the case of how things are. So the belief that men want sex more has been told so long within history is like, that's just flat out what we done went with and what we moving with. And you can go from that going beyond just the case of that's what history has been. Not only has history been that's been what's been introduced and shown to people through media as well. So we get to like this current day and age, yeah, we evolving more. But if you look at any type of media front, you're going to see pretty much the same things being reflected in it. So if you look at looking at music, like, I mean, shit, I listen to a whole lot of hip hop. That's what I grew up on. So hip hop is heavily on as a dude. Like you got dudes who getting it in. Most of a whole lot of it is fuck bitches get money. So you getting all this bread, fuck these women, it don't matter. Getting the most of them, bagging them, knocking females down. That's the viewpoint. That's the culture that I didn't grow up in. That's just talking about me specifically. Growing up in a culture where musically, most of it's talking about getting as many women as possible. That's the premise that's been presented. Get as many as women as possible. And I ain't even finna stunt with y'all. Growing up within that, I'm trying to do better in my mindset as far as how I view it. Like, bruh, it's cool. Like, don't even worry. Focus on a wife. And I mean, it's always kind of been my mindset, but I'd be lying telling y'all I ain't grow up with different kind of like mindsets of like, all right, bet I'm trying to, I want her and her and her and her. You feel me? And that's, it can easily just be like, oh, well, that's just because he's a man, but me being self-aware enough and knowing how I didn't grow up in different exposures I done had. Nah, that's because everything around me has told me I should get her and her and her. So I've been trying to get her and her and her. But I don't got to do that. And you ain't got to do that either. So just understand, like, from a music standpoint. But I'm talking about hip hop. But I mean, you can look at other places beyond hip hop. It's not just that one, just our one subculture. You can look at older music, look at older R&B or some shit like that. You can look at, you can go to pop music. There's plenty of pop songs that's talking about a guy who's a playboy and all whatever kind of things. It's just not as vulgar, quote unquote, or direct. Sometimes as hip hop may be. But music, if you look at it throughout time, just talking about a whole lot of men as women. Now, of course, love has always been in there, but it's a whole lot of portrayal of, yeah, I want to get these beautiful women and these women and these women and these women from a male perspective. But if you flip side, look at it as a female, it's rarely ever, oh, I need to get all these men from a woman. It's like, oh, I want to fall for this one man. The viewpoint of how we even present it isn't even the same. Like as a woman, now we might be getting more to what music is presenting for women to, oh, do what you want and thug and, you know what I mean, move around. But men as a society for a long time has been, hey, it's okay as a man, you go out here moving around doing multiple things. And you can go beyond Music, you can go to film, you can go to watching TV. Man, if you watch almost any TV show, at some point in time, you're gonna see them talking about a guy being a playboy and the acceptability of it, because that's the big thing. You can watch all these movies. It's like, what's little Brody name? Iron Man. You got Iron Man. Tony Stark was the playboy. This go from a comic book to TV to movies or whatever. It's like you literally got a portrayal. Oh, it's a playboy. He's a billionaire playboy. That's an acceptable thing. He's somebody to want to be. And you can look at plenty of other movies. You're just gonna watch a dude. Usually, an often thing is a cool ass dude. Is that cool ass dude who's sleeping around having all these different people, all these different women that he getting to be with. That's a common trait for as a man. The cool man is sleeping with a bunch of people. That's the portrayal of what makes a dude, like a part of what comes with being the cool guy who that man. You get a bunch of females. The cool women, you don't get to do that. That's not saying that they don't want to do that, because you're a woman, you don't want to have all these people. Like I'm pretty sure, like I ain't gonna name names, but it's artists right now, female artists who kind of like, hey, look, these same dudes who be kind of blowing up, talking that mess, like they big and they artistry, and now they sleeping around with this female and this female. Hey, these same dudes who think we as female artists look good, we think they look good. So I'm sleeping with this male artist and this male artist and this male artist. Hey, respect to them doing their thing. They want to do the same thing y'all been doing. But it's a different viewpoint. It's a different connotation on when men cheating is like a whole lot more acceptable. So it just kind of changes how it's moved around with it. And so like for me, the part is just understanding that once you get even beyond media, as far as like the portrayal of it, is understanding it's the people at the end of the day. It's us as people, because the media is made by people. History has just been people. And it's people that's going to continue to set as to however it goes. History and media has been telling us that boys the same thing. It's been telling boys it's okay to go get as many women as you want. You're gonna kind of get chastised, but not too bad. It ain't not too bad to make you have to stop it. Like it's I know plenty of dudes who cheated buku times on the female, and not even like saying like friends and them, but just pretty much it's a common understanding as a dude. If you sleep around a bunch of times, like your woman take you back, cool. If she cheat on you, you done one time out of there, and it's just like it's a different expectation as to what is a acceptable behavior, and like. The way parents talk and tell boys about having sex is so much different than it is from girls. Like for boys, you more being warned, hey, don't be a creep, don't do all kind of stuff. Don't like you more trying to restrain them back on not doing too much with sex, but it ain't like, oh, don't be sexual. It's like, okay, as a boy, it's cool to be sexual. That's kind of one of the things that you gonna do because you a boy. Hold on, my bad. I thought one of the cameras was gonna fall. But yeah, so as a boy, you just looking at it, it's just like that's the damn. Might have had a couple cuts on this one here, but as a boy, it's a whole lot more of a hey, watch your thing. But it's not like a big hey, protect yourself. Don't be out here in these streets. Don't. Gotta be scary. Sexist. Don't know to sex. It's like all right, if you're a boy and you lose your virginity young, it's like all right, my boy. You a girl and you lose your virginity young, it's like, oh, she for the streets. But I mean, they both for the streets. Let's be clear. And I ain't judging nobody who for the streets. Hey, look, somebody got to be for the streets. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I forgot. I'm talking about on another topic. My bad, y'all. I be like I told y'all, man. My intrusive thoughts sometimes just be hidden, and my mind be jumping all over the place. So sorry that y'all be having to bear with me sometimes. But yeah, so let me try to stay in on this point. So even with the case of like what's told to parents, like I remember like this homegirl of mine, it was wild. I remember her saying this to me. I don't know if she had kids at the time, but she was like, "Oh yeah, if I had a son, he gonna be a player." Like what? That was like to me that was just like crazy talking. Like, hold on, you a woman, you know what I mean? You experiencing, you deal with men. You saying that your son, you want your son to be a player, or you want him to be fucking and like losing, like getting girls at a young age. I'm like, damn, that's you viewing that as a good thing for him to hit that thing. Now, if you deal with a man who on that same kind of wave is like, oh, this nigga ain't shit, but you want that to be something you teaching your son. And for me, that's the point of like those things are like the reflection of it's not purely a man cheating because of that's what they want to do. It's an acceptable trait within society. If you go cheat and you sleep around, you might have been told since a young age, hey boy, go get them girls. Yeah. When as a girl, you talk, oh no, don't let them boys get you. You know what I mean? And even like the amount of women that say like all men are dogs, are you telling, if you as a son, you around a woman who's saying all men are dogs, it's like, all right, my mama been saying all men are dogs. I'm a dog. Well, I mean, I'm a boy. I'm growing up to be a man. I guess I gotta be a dog. Or I done seen my mama get dogged out by men repeatedly. All right, well, that's the acceptable behavior because that's the men that I done seen. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit that you gonna potentially find yourself end up doing. Like the amount of men encouraging each other to cheat. Like, don't get me wrong, like when I'm single and I'm with my single friends and we doing single shit, oh, look, my boy, hey, we outside. You feel me? We outside tonight. But for any of my partners, they running and chopping over with me. You ain't gonna find one who like I'm telling them, oh, bro, we need to go out here and cheat. Like, nah, bro, you got an old lady, man. Do your thing with your old lady. Like, hey, let's still go outside and have fun. I still want you to come out and turn up with me if I'm single. But hey, man, but don't fuck up a good thing if you got a good thing at the house. But it's a common thing. Like dudes like encouraging. Like it's one thing your dude cheating and your partner cheating and you ain't like I ain't getting in that. But when you encourage them to cheat, like, bro, like you pushing, like why you pushing that within it? Like, why are you trying to make these problems within folks' households? Like, you can, if he go decide it by himself, but don't press him toward that. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel about it. Y'all can take it differently. You like, oh, I'm on some whole shit. But look, man, that's how I'm talking. I just want to be real with y'all. And like a huge thing for me, like I think it was last week I was talking to somebody about it. And I was just like, I think I was telling them about what my subject gonna be today. And it was just like, bruh, something that I would hate to ever be the case is having a man who out cheating on his wife, doing whatever kind of shit, feel like that's acceptable behavior. That man have a son. I have a son. They go to the same school. I hate for the fact that this man who ain't shit cheating on his, well, I mean, he might be shit in other areas, but this man who ain't shit cheating on his wife, telling his son, presents his son, making it seem like that's acceptable behavior. And at that point in time, his son go to school telling my son, hey, bro, we need to be out here getting all these females and fucking all these females and doing all this shit here. And then fucking my son mind up to where that's the shit that he need to do. You know what I mean? Fucked up if that will ever be the case. So for me, my mind said, my shit, it got to come from the household. So for me, I ain't finna have another man raising my son and putting these principles in his head. What you gonna get is from your father telling you, hey, bro, just as well as with my daughter, hey, look, man, protect y'all bodies. You ain't got to be out here. Your value ain't based on the body count you got. You having 100 females on your body count ain't something to flex about. My dude, you as valuable as she is. Like, don't be like, oh, she got to have me. I'm getting to have all them. Bro, they getting to have you too. You want to have everybody having you? You know what I mean? So just kind of like, I want to raise my son with that mindset, bro. Having a high body count ain't the same kind of boast as what society kind of presents it as. Because shit, society present having a high body count as a dude as a straight up boast. And it just, I don't feel like it is in the same kind of way. At least not at this point in time in my life. Like maybe when I was a younger child or some shit like that. But as a grown man, I ain't finna raise my child on that, and I don't believe in that the same kind of way. Now, am I finna sit here and lie to y'all, be like, I don't have my times of where I'm like, damn, I still want to get with her and her and her? Fuck yeah, man. But hey, look, we gotta have that restraint, and that's why I'm talking about the subject of the day being men cheating, because it's that restraint understanding that we talking about. And another thing that I feel like sometimes when we talk about the men cheating versus women cheating is we talk about it as if, oh, men can just cheat and, you know what I mean, just do their thing because they don't give a fucking, like, women have emotional attachment. Like, if a woman cheat, she gonna be, like, emotionally attached. And, like, if she cheating, I'm more mad at her cheating because she cheating and she feeling away. Like, her feelings involved with it. For me, it's just the sex. And I agree. Like, I mean, you might hear me say that, like, oh, damn, all the shit you been saying, and you agree with that shit? No, I for sure agree with that. But I don't agree with it from, like, a genetic standpoint, like it's a woman thing, man thing. I agree with it from a society standpoint. I agree that women have been positioned and taught in a way to where sex is emotional, sex is connected, sex is a deeper thing. Now, again, there are women who out here who can body you and keep it moving and not care anything about you. But I would say as a more general thing, is a whole lot more women who kind of been raised and taught, oh, yeah, sex is emotional, watch your body count, don't sleep with everybody, to where if right now they got with somebody, it's like, oh yeah, I'm watching my body count. I ain't sleeping with everybody, so I can't rock with you. So they're not gonna sleep with a dude. But when she do cheat, she is feeling a little bit more emotional to the dude that she slept with, compared to as a dude you've been told like, oh, women are just bodies and just getting it in. Just like, all right, for sure, I'm just getting it in. This is another body count, baby. She don't mean nothing to me. She don't mean nothing to you because you ain't been taught to me. Sex ain't been taught to me and anything to you. So, which is why as a man, we cheat as much. Now, I ain't never cheated, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure there's probably somebody out there who'll be like, I done cheated before. I ain't never cheated. I ain't never been in a relationship. I ain't never called nobody my girlfriend and cheated. Now, have I been in situations? And I had other situations? Yeah. But I ain't never been in an exclusive situation that I acknowledge. You can't tell me I'm in a relationship. You ain't finna tell me I'm in a relationship. And I'm saying this type of shit so that y'all know I'm still keeping this shit all the way ace and all the way 100 with you. Man, fuck that shit sometimes. Look, baby, you is not my girl until I say you my girl and you say I'm your boy. You feel me? Because if I say you my girl and you say I don't know, we both still for the streets, baby. But yeah, so hey, yeah. What the fuck I'm yeah, and like with everything I'm saying, obviously none of this shit is absolute. As I say, like whether it's genders, that's why I say that. Like whether some men are cheating more, but there's plenty of dudes out here who not cheating. It's plenty of upstanding young gentlemen like me who don't believe in cheating. But just understanding those principles are reason as to why men cheat and find themselves possibly cheating more is because shit, society didn't kind of position that way. And what I do want to say, with everything I'm talking about, there are kind of how I was saying at the beginning. I'm pretty sure you can go out and find metrics and numbers and whatever kind of shit and studies that's been done. Look, bro, I'm talking from the heart because this is just another reason as to why I am just life observing, and I do not want to be a psychologist because people who into psychology and shit like that, they got to do studies. They got to do all this other shit. I don't want to do that. My shit is like from the heart. I can tell enough shit. I can see enough shit, be presented with enough information. I'm always welcome to grow, but my shit ain't based on so much focused studies on doing something except it is observing life. I'm not passionately trying to do it. It's just more passively observing life as I move through life my damn self and just understanding and growing on the movements that we have. So please take everything I say, however the fuck that make you feel about it, knowing that that's where it come from. Just literally observing people and being a person, observing myself and observing others. That's all this shit is, and not judging on either side. Because if you cheating and shit like that, hey, look, that's your prerogative. But that's what the fuck you doing. Ain't for me because it's dishonesty. I ain't too much for the dishonesty because fucking around, to me, I don't think it's bad if you sleep with multiple people because that's your prerogative to do it. As long as the dishonesty part will make it cheating. What the other person like, oh, I don't let you know. If you fucking 10 females or you fucking 10 dudes, if you letting people know, hey, look, I'm doing my thing, shit, you doing your thing. This respect to you because you're honest with it. You know what I mean? That's how I fall to it. So I'm gonna get toward the end of this, kind of wrapping up on the case of like trying to present and different things to like make it to kind of shift away from the case of men cheating. Like obviously we can't all change society at one time, but to shift away from it. And again, going to quote, this is just presenting information. But remember, whatever I say to y'all is easier said. It's easier to say it than to do it, but sometimes you have to hear it said to know you can do it. And that's because like the case of changing how we move and how we view men cheating and how we operate with men cheating got to start from a case of shit just being known. Why are men cheating? Why dudes doing this? Because I'm pretty sure if you go somewhere else outside of myself, you'll have plenty of other explanations that explain why men cheating. And I probably agree with some of them, disagree with some of them. And it's more like, oh, it's just a root thing, genetics, and men just have a strong desire, got to have sex and want to procreate. Like females want to procreate too. Like miss me with all that bullshit. So yeah, like that's just the reason why this shit happened. So like reviewing history, like right now we're at a point of where we can really review history. Like if you want to come at me on like some, oh bro, I gotta look at history. Hey, bet you for sure. You're right. We can review history, and we can view history from a lens that people who were going through it at an older time could not. They could not see as much information at the same time. So like where we at now, we can review history like never before, and we can see trends across times and societies. And with that, we can kind of see some of the smaller details that people might have skipped over or not focused on as much. Because one, you can see more details. You can do a focused study on these small details. And reason why I say the small details is because sometimes the big story that's told is by the people in power. And men have been in power. So the story of men being cheating because they're men and that's just what men do, it ain't that crazy. The fact that that's the prevailing understanding when men have been the primary people telling the story. That, oh, men cheat because that's men and men just being men. So like the fact everybody believes that, all right, yeah, that makes sense. But if you look at a lot of stories when the person who's in power tells it, there's gonna have a lot of fallacies or false truths within it. It's not gonna be as truthful as what actually happened. You can look at a lot of different historical facts. It's like, oh yeah, they made that seem all good on their side. They ain't really highlight too much of their bullshit because you the person and you won. You ain't trying to tell your bad story. That's up for the loser to make you seem bad. So, but when we able to have more history and have more insights from people who are outside who was able to see things differently, we can get more information and understand, oh yeah, it was kind of some bullshit going on there. Just like something as simple as you look back on like how slavery happened within America or some shit like that. The people at the time of when slavery was happening, folks were like, yeah, it's all good and all kind of other shit. But then it's like history later on was like, no, it's not so much. Or the bad shit that people was doing, like, oh, this person saying good, but like, oh no, they had all these slaves. Just a whole lot of shit. People, you're gonna tell a story how you want to if you're in control. And so with that, I feel like once you look at a lot of things, you can kind of like see more trends. Like, okay, yeah, what's the behavior of women compared to the behavior of men? You can kind of see more often how the fact women haven't had the opportunities to show traits that show that, hey, they'll cheat. Because if you look at it right now, women are fucking cheating. I feel like more than they historically probably have. And that's not to say historically they haven't cheated, because I think like I don't know it like that, but like I think like what it was, Napoleon, Bonaparte, you know what I mean? From France, when his like shouted like what was old girl like Anne or some shit. I don't know the shouted name, so I ain't even finna stunt with you. But like I think his girl was like cheating, so women been cheating for a long time, but just like men, but it's more of a case of I feel like right now the frequency of it is increasing because you look at like music, a different like societal acceptance, like women freedom and all those kind of things. So it's like, yeah, so women having more of a desire to express themselves. Is that because women now have some different kind of genetics? No, it's because it's more acceptable. It's been more acceptable as far as the presentation for a woman to go sleep around, do whatever she want to do, just like how it has always kind of been for as a man. It's always been kind of acceptable. All right, you want to go get a bunch of females? Hey, bro, do your thing. You'll be straight. It don't matter. Catch some bodies up. You need to get your sexual experience anyway. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I do believe in folks getting their sexual experience, because man, could you imagine like getting married to somebody who don't know what they doing? And I'm pretty sure like different beliefs and like, I mean, I just said I'm a Christian. Somebody like, I thought he said he a Christian. It's like, I say that. My beliefs ain't 100% in line with everything how y'all view the Bible. So it's like, I think sometimes you need to go out there and experience it. Like, be cautious of everybody with your body, but I mean, you can't experience nobody else with your body. Like, I want to know what it's hidden for. Is it good? Is it worth it? I ain't finna be married to somebody who I ain't sexually in sync with. But we gotta sync up. Because I ain't got time to get married to somebody who was a virgin when we met. And then we get married. And she want me, I don't know how this thing came back up. But she want me to eat ass. Because she been hearing my folks eating ass out here. And I gotta break it to her, baby. I ain't never eaten ass. Never. So you ain't never gonna get that. But if she done been out and about, she ain't got an ass out, she can be like, oh, I need that. Oh, I don't need that. Or she can be like, I want that, but I accept the fact that you ain't gonna eat my ass, because I ain't gonna eat your ass, baby. I can love you forever to the end of days. I ain't eating your ass. I'm sorry for y'all. The fact I done came up with eating ass again, I don't know why I keep coming up. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, let me get to wrapping this shit, dog. Sexual desire is natural. We all have it. So look, the differences are more taught on how we regulate it. So man, woman, you want to be on others and all other kind of shit. I ain't finna act like I'm finna go down the deep lines or whatever. Like, respect to whatever you want to be. But whether whatever gender you identify with, we all humans having sexual desires is just a natural thing, bruh. So we all have it. But we're not all taught the same type of restraints on how to regulate how we go about having sex. So everything I've been talking about is the fact of like why I feel men cheat more, because of the acceptability of it. Not because men have to cheat more, but because it's been taught to be more acceptable. And I want to end it kind of going toward the case of having a changing in society. Like I said, the case of talking about easier said than done, but we got to do work to make it happen. So building like healthy habits for me and that's just like more like telling boys like what to do, like as a young age, presenting healthier information to young men, little boys, about how to grow up to be the men that aren't cheating as frequently. Like telling boys, like to me, like a bad example of something to do is telling boys not to cheat like their daddy. I think that's horrible. Like if somebody daddy cheat, like you don't want to. Oh, don't be out here cheating like your daddy or some shit. And I say I'm speaking like as a black woman because I mean I deal with black women primarily. So as a thing, you telling a child that like one that's his daddy. Like why the fuck would you tell him that? Like why would you present that? That's adult ass information. And it's just like already you being compared to, and now it's being presented. If that child's role model is their father, you telling them don't cheat like your daddy. Well, shit, that man my role model regardless of how you trying to say it, mama. I might go ahead and cheat like my daddy. Or if you're a woman, you know what I mean? You out here dealing with men who cheat on the fucking regular. Like, but don't be out here. Mama, I didn't see you except all these men who cheat. Shit, maybe that's what the fuck men do. And so I'm gonna do it. So understand that like you gotta build a healthy habits. Like those examples on the bad side, but like introducing good behavior incentives. So it's like, oh yeah, hey baby, I need my, to your son or whatever, trying to present to him reasons as to why not to be sexually promiscuous. I mean, because I know it felt like we should stifle sexual interest or just the desire to go out there. Because I mean, it's natural. Sex is a natural human thing. But like, if you're in a society and cultures where it's like more reserved on the case of like trying to be exclusive to somebody else or just being honest about it, present it to men, to your young boys, to where it's like, all right, don't feel like having sex with a bunch of women is the goal. Feel like to teach them to value themselves and their sexual history to where it's like, oh yeah, having 40, 50, 60, 100,000 women in my history isn't a boastful thing. And I feel like giving different things like that, moving in a way to actually find ways to present to your child to where society isn't shaping them. Don't let society that's telling everybody's son, and who told me as a young boy, hey look, bro, go try to fuck as many females as you can. Try to present to your child. Don't allow them to watch the movie or the TV show. They got young boys out here doing all kind of fast shit. Don't let them listen to the music that's doing that. And shit, if they are, make sure you are the biggest force in your child's life. Make sure you are the biggest influencer within your child's life. I'm a huge believer in that. Making sure there's not a motherfucker who outside of your house that's a bigger influence on your child's beliefs. Like, I mean, they might like and enjoy it. I mean, kids gonna grow up to a point in time and they're gonna rebel and kind of be outside of you in the house, but I'd be damned if a motherfucker gonna be more influential in my life, in my child life, than me. Now again, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people like, well, how you do that, whatever kind of shit. Look, that's another topic for another day. Getting as far as on being an influence for your being an influence within your child life. It's a lot of different things you can do and steps. But right now, I'm not gonna dive into that. But just know, finding out steps along those ways are ways so we can kind of make a shift within the acceptability of men cheating within society. Because you can't, as one person or a few people, you can't change all of society, but you can change your area, you can change your neighborhood, you might change your family, and those small changes from within your family will set you up. Once you have those changes can grow out just like anything else that we have within society. Once something starts at one place, it grow out to be anything else. So you teach something that's changed in your household, like any other generational curse. All right, now, your young son who grow out, he ain't trying to fuck everybody's daughter at school. Bet, that's one person right there. And he can possibly be more influential on his friend group than his hoe-ass friend is who, and again, I say hoe-ass, but I ain't got no judgment to nobody who fucking around, but to his friend who got girls and he cheating on them. And just like, doing those things can really set up our society to where men and sex has a different viewpoint. Because again, remember, I'm not saying sex is bad or having multiple sex partners. It's the dishonesty part that's the factor. And I feel like the thing is, because as men, society teaches us that cheating is wrong, but it also teaches us to go out and have as many partners. But if you're trying to be in an exclusive relationship with society, it's also teaching you how the fuck do you not cheat, have as many partners, be faithful. It's a whole lot of things that's just not congruent, and understanding you can't do them all at once. You want to go have multiple partners? Go do it. You want to be in a relationship? Understand with being in this relationship, is it monogamous? I bet you can't have multiple partners. You got a polyamorous relationship? What are the parameters within that? If your polyamorous relationship, you got you and two other people, I bet that's it. You go have a third person, you're cheating. Or, you know what I mean? Understanding that, just respecting whatever y'all situations are. And I just want more people joining and aligning among these principles, and I feel like we'll have a better society. This, again, has been another episode that I looked at, and I thought this bitch was going to be short, and this episode has run long, so goddamn, I guess I'll be talking. Yeah, man. So with that, I'm I'm gonna go ahead and end the event right there and shift over to Better Not Better. And that was pretty much the things that I ended on just then, like talking about the change. That's basically the Better Not Better, just setting up different ways to where we're not focusing on, oh, man ain't shit or whatever kind of things because of cheating. We're focusing on, all right, how do we set up our society, our sons, the men that we currently have right now to shift their mindset from where it's, oh, yeah, cheating and shit like that is acceptable. Because, you're never going to have me vouch and recommend somebody to cheat, but you got to have other people around you, different groups, like whether it's whatever reason, whatever type of group it is, just setting yourself up as a grown man to be around other people who kind of pushing that same kind of agenda. And don't get me wrong, I'm not in any way saying women don't cheat, because motherfuckers be out here doing their thing. But I'm talking about we're emphasizing the men cheating. I think I'm gonna have a women cheating kind of conversation later on. Hopefully I presented this information well enough, talking about this men cheating topic, but I've run long, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. Man, look, I appreciate all y'all motherfuckers coming through here rocking with me. You already know what it is. You already know how we doing in the StoryHouse show. Man, it's nothing but love. It's nothing but love every time, every person who come through here, man. Please, if you enjoyed this content or any of my prior content, please like, comment, like drop whatever you feel about what I had to say. Anything like you agree, disagree, whatever how you feel. Just let me know in them comments how you feel about what I talked about for today with men cheating. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Like, that shit helped me a lot. Getting the notification sometimes, just so that you know whenever I post a video, it's already on there. And it's StoryHouse, StoryHouse_XO on YouTube. If you're looking up like the username, but just look up StoryHouse podcast. I think you should find it. And if you find on any social media, Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter, or Facebook is on there too. You just look up StoryHouse.XO. You should be able to find it on any of the platforms, man. I don't want to run too much longer, so man, look, it's all love. Like I say, y'all already know your family, you in the house. We rocking, we kicking it. We be doing our thing. Y'all already know what it is. Real nigga out there pulling up and shit. But that's enough for today. Y'all gotta get y'all ass. I don't know where you gotta go. I don't know who home, if you gotta go to a home, but you do gotta get out my home. So get out the house, go get your ass moving. And if you watching this and there's an episode after it, watch the next episode though. So get out the house and come right back in if it's another episode. But if not, man, just keep it moving. I'll holler at y'all next week, man. It's all love. StoryHouse show. We out. Ayo. Be easy.
I've been going through some things, so much on my brain, just hoping it would change.